Stop talking about comic books or I'll kill you. I don't care if the Hulk could defeat the man.
Hey there, comic fam. Bullseye Bob here, and welcome to Everything Comics. And we're going to do some reviews today. I haven't been able to do any of my reviews for the books that came out the week of the Thanksgiving break. Did a lot of cooking, did a lot of family stuff that week, and so it's taken me a while to finally read my comics that came out that week, and so I figured I would go ahead. I know it's late, but I'm going to go ahead and do a review video of those books anyway. Before we get into that, I just wanted to say this video is sponsored by The Rogue Trader. Definitely check out the link in the description, theroguetraderutah.com. You want to go over there and check out Eric Strubble's amazing website. He's got books for sale, and he also has an amazing pressing and cleaning service. As I've told you guys before, if you're going to send anything into CGC, you definitely want to get your books pressed and cleaned, and you want to give it to a reputable source, a source that has the experience behind them. And that's definitely something that Eric has. He's got many years behind him in pressing and cleaning. He also has a background in historical document handling. So this is a guy who really knows his stuff. Give him a shot. You know, let him know what you're trying to do. Send him an email, message him. He'll get back with you, and he'll tell you what he can do and what he can't do. He has a great service, and I swear by it. And if there's anything that you see there that you like, or if you want to try that service out, when you check out on the website, use the code EVERYTHING20, and you get 20% off your purchase. You can't beat that. Also, this video is sponsored by the Refuge Coffee House right here in Portland, Oregon, 9217 Southeast Foster Road. They'll always be a sponsor of the show. That's where I first started, doing videos, was right there inside the Refuge Coffee House. But right now, they have a present wrapping booth there at the Refuge. There's certain times that it's open. Go check out their Instagram page. It'll show you the times that it's there. But for any size donation, they'll wrap your presents for you. They do an amazing job. And all the proceeds go towards Costa Rica missions. They have a big missions trip that's going to be coming up here pretty soon. And all the proceeds will go to that. And I tell you, they do some amazing work down there. But let me know when you're in town. The Refuge is always a great place to hang out. So is Mocha Express. Let us know, and we'll, myself and Bueller, and we'll meet you for coffee. We'll hang out. Maybe the whole Portland comic crew. Who knows? But we'll definitely get some coffee, talk comics, and hang out. And so also this Monday is the return of the brand new Coffee and Comic Show. That's right. On the Comics with Bueller channel, myself and my good buddy Bueller will return to the show. We've had a break for about a month. It seems like forever since we've done a Coffee and Comics video. Check that out, 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You don't want to miss it. If you can't be there at that time, definitely check out the replay. But we have a great topic this week. One that we've done before, but it's time we needed to visit it again. And that topic is, are comics too expensive? And I know a lot of people have a lot of things to say about that, but definitely check out the conversation that we have in the video. It's going to be a lot of fun. So this last Wednesday, my good friend TM Nerdy, he dropped an interview with me on his channel. It was, he has a show called Chatting with the Comics Community. And so we got to sit down and cut it up about Daredevil and how I got into comics. And, it was a great time. I had a great time with him. It's an awesome video. Go check out his channel. Definitely watch that video. Give the brother a like and a subscribe. Show him some love. We want to get his subs up because he does so much for the comic community. He is a gem. He supports so many channels. He's always going out and sharing other people's channels and content with everybody. And he's always active. And so we want to show that brother as much love as we can get. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into the reviews here. And the books that came out Thanksgiving week, none of them were like huge things that grabbed me. They were okay. And so I don't have per se a pick of the week. They were all kind of around the same level or buzz, I guess you could say. And so we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. So the first one is Echolands, number 4. This one, of course, by Image Comics. And, you guys, I've been loving this series. The creative team on this is incredible. You got J.H. Williams and W. Hayden Blackman are the co-writers. And then you have Dan Stellert on colors and Rod Klein on letters. And I just have to say, if you guys have not been reading this book, The artwork inside of this is amazing. Of course, it is a fold-out book like this, and you can see just how amazing that artwork is. The story, for like about the second issue, was kind of, you know, shaky for a little bit there. It wasn't quite clear where they were going, but by issue 3, it really started to take off, and I've really just been enjoying this series. Of course, this is one you don't want to read digitally. It has to be read by holding the book and holding it up side, you know, so you can get the full effect of what's going on. But every page, the panel work is just amazing. Inside of this one, the story has progressed. They were on the island that basically had the godlike, like Greek godlike character. Definitely a throwback to Kirby. And they're trying to escape. And in the midst of it, the wizard's daughter finally catches up. Not with them, but with that godlike character. And they have a showdown, and basically he self-destructs the whole region, trying to take her out, and, you know, for himself. I guess he's immortal, so I don't think he's going to die. But definitely our main characters were inside of this ball on a track, and that track is still pushing them on to where their destination is, and they can see the destruction happening behind them. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun ride. Like I said, if you look at the artwork, every page, I mean, I can sit here and open the book 5 or 6 times, which I have since I read this issue. And I mean, the artwork and panel work and composition and colors just pop off the page. And I absolutely love this series. I guess if there was a pick of the week, this would probably be it, because I think I enjoyed this more than anything that I read. But again, you know, for me, this is about the artwork as much as it is the story itself. As a matter of fact, I think the artwork far surpasses the actual story that we're getting out of this. And that kind of is a bummer, because I know that they had this series in the making for a number of years. I want to say something like 8 to 10 years in the making. And so I really wish the story was much better. It had grabbed me even more than it has. But it's really good. It's really good, but the artwork is something to behold. So really cool. If you're not reading Echolands, definitely check it out. You don't want to do it digitally. Get a physical copy, and believe me, you'll thank me later. Okay, next book on the list was from Image Comics. This is Friday, and this is a book by Ed Brubaker, art by Marcos Martin. And you guys know I love me some Ed Brubaker. And this isn't an actual ongoing series. This is kind of like a preview book. So it's a special collector's issue. It's only going to be issue number 1, and because this is the first part of a large book that's coming out. And I guess this book was already an Eisner Award winner. I don't know if it was released digitally at first. I should have done my research on it before I started to review it. But I did really enjoy this. It centers around this town. This town has a sordid past with some murders that happened way, way, way back when. And now it seems like we've got these murders happening again. And what's more, it looks like there's a supernatural element. Like whatever was doing it before is doing it again. And it looks like an entity or a spirit is possessing somebody to do these murders. And so you got these characters. They're post-teen. One of them has just come back into town, and she, instead of going home, gets caught up inside of the police car with her good friend. And she kind of reminds me of Thelma from Scooby-Doo. And they go out and they start trying to do the detective work on one of these murders. And they catch up with the guy who has done it, and he's definitely talking gibberish and talking about this woman that obviously is controlling him. And so I thought it was a great, first read. It's enough for me to want to get the book. I really love Ed Brubaker's writing. This is so much different than I'm used to seeing him write. It's a different type of story. It's not so much noir, even though it's got murder and a small town. But I really enjoyed it. So if you guys are looking for something new you want to check out, I guess this was a local comic shop day exclusive. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. You know, the artwork is nothing to write home about. It's definitely not, you know, Sean Phillips, who I'm used to seeing with Brubaker. I think they're kind of synonymous together now. But the story is really well written, and I'm looking forward to getting into the rest of it. So definitely I would say that it's worth checking out, guys. Okay, the next one we have is The Incredible Hulk #1. Of course, this one written by Donny Cates, the artwork done by Ryan Otley, and I've been looking forward to this ever since, you know, Washington State SummerCon. We got to sit down with Donny and talk to him about the new direction you know, he's going to be taking with the Hulk, and I wasn't excited about leaving Immortal Hulk behind as far as Al Ewing's run. I didn't care who was going to be writing on it. I usually, when the change happens, I'm usually not too excited about it because it's usually a letdown. But the way Donny Cates was describing the direction he was going to take this book in, I got really excited for it. I was really surprised at what we got inside of this book. I at first, because I actually read this twice, and the first go around, I don't think I was too crazy about it, but on the second go around, I enjoyed it a heck of a lot more, and I think I'm really going to be in for the ride here. I'm not so sure that I like. I mean, the premise is, what if the Hulk is not who we needed to be protected from, but if it was actually Banner himself, and the Hulk is actually the one who needs to protect us from him. And I'm not so sure I like the whole Banner looking all maniacal and evil, but I mean, that's the direction he's taking it. I also don't like multiple personalities stories usually. Sometimes they're hard to follow and they're ambiguous. Like the original Moon Knight run back in the late 80s with Bill Sienkiewicz. I love that run, but there were times where I just couldn't figure out, you know, which character was doing what sometimes. And I really hope this doesn't get bogged down like that. But basically, we have Banner and then two separate entities of the Hulk. One who he's keeping in prison, and then the other one is, like you see here on the page, that has kind of like these prosthetics on him, and just, I mean, taking it to town on the Hulkbuster. And so, I mean, the way he's got this split and the way it's looking, especially with how readily he handles the Hulkbuster and where he's taking us next. Like I said, the second time I read it, I really enjoyed it. And so I'm definitely going to add this to my pull list. This wasn't on my pull list. I just picked it up for the week since it was a #1. And but I'm definitely going to add this to my pull list, which is cool because I don't have very many Marvel or DC books on my pull list right now. And so this was really cool. Next one is Hawkeye Kate Bishop #1 by Marvel Comics. This is another one that's not on my pull list, but I'll pick up a #1 and try it out always. First of all, I just want to say my hat's off to Marvel for, I mean, finally releasing a book at the same time that they release a show or a movie. Of course, the Hawkeye show on the Disney Plus channel is going on right now. Absolutely love it. But this book, you know, I picked it up because I do like the Kate Bishop character. And, you know, I was, you know, I figured I'd just check it out. And, you know, this is nothing to write home about. It's really dialogue heavy. You know, I think it's written for a different audience than me. Nothing much really happens by the way of like supervillains or anything like that. But it definitely is taking Kate Bishop in a direction of doing more like detective work. And, you know, I mean, Pizza Dog is in here, which is really cool. And I know she's supposed to be a private investigator and all that. But they're really leaning into that. And so she basically gets an invite to a party. And there's some hijinks between her sister and her mom, and definitely something going on here, and it's time to put the Sherlock Holmes hat on and figure out what's going on. And like I said, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It just didn't grab me. It's, like I said, I think it's written for a different audience than me. But I mean, it's a fair, you know, first issue. Wasn't crazy about the artwork, but you know, I mean, it's the same stuff that Marvel's been putting out here lately. It just didn't grab me. I'll just leave it at that. So the next book, you know, when I first heard about it, I got really excited for it, and I've been waiting a long time for it to come out, and finally it's here. And that's Good Boy #1 from Source Point Press. And I think the concept of this book I liked far more than what we actually got in here. I mean, it's not all that bad. It definitely, okay, the premise is, you know, in John Wick, what if it was John Wick that got taken out and the dog actually is the one that goes on a rampage for revenge? And so that, I mean, that's what we got in here. We got, you know, a lot of the John Wick tropes. After John Wick gets taken out, you know, the dog goes into the house, and there's, you know, secret compartments and guns and all that type of stuff everywhere. I don't think it was written particularly well in its execution. And part of the reason why I say that is because they try to use colorful language inside of here to punctuate, and it just comes off as dumb to me. Every, you know, 2 to 3 pages, it's effing this and effing that, and it'll be my effing pleasure, and we need to take that effing pooch out, and I'm going to get my effing revenge. And it just became kind of, I don't know, it didn't grab me. And it definitely is something that didn't need to be there, and they're putting it there to try to create more color in the commentary, I guess, and it just came off as trite. So I wish the execution in this book would have been a little bit better. The artwork is okay. It does feel a little more like, you know, Sunday morning funny paper. I'm okay with that, but I was expecting something a little more out of this book. I don't know why I did. I mean, the concept is crazy and bombastic to begin with, but there's some really cool action stuff that happens inside of here, and, you know, the coloring is pretty good. So I can't ding it for that, but just by the time I got to the end of the book, I was left wanting, and I'm gonna get issue 2. Maybe it'll prove me wrong, because I really want to like this book. But this just didn't do it for me like I thought it was going to, guys. And I really was hoping that it would. So, I don't know. Good Boy #1. Tell me if you read this. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Maybe you have insight inside it. Maybe you'll prove me wrong. Let me know what it is you like about the book. All right, next one was House of Slaughter #2. This one by Boom Studios, of course, written by James Tynion. We do have some artwork by Deladera inside of here, but it looks like most of the artwork is done by Bromble. And, you know, look, I love Tynion's writing. I really like the things we're getting out of the House of Slaughter when it comes to their processes and how they initiate people, and all that stuff is really cool, and I'm on board for it. But that's stuff that he created in the world that he built, and to get more of it is really cool. For the other story, in the actual Something is Killing the Children, my problem with this book is I just don't care about the character. I know the character is one that, you know, has already, you know, he died in the first series, and so we're following his story inside of the House of Slaughter. But yeah, him and some of the other characters that have been introduced so far, I'm just, you know, they're okay. There's nothing bad about it. I really like this whole sequence of the tethering and untethering and then retethering as part of the initiation to their familiars. I thought that was a really great sequence inside of the book. You know, there's definitely the artwork is not all Deladera at all, and it's got, you know, some of the something is killing the children feel to it. But again, you know, I'm just not invested in the characters, so it doesn't grab me as much as the original book. So I'm liking the parts that are part of the world building to build out more of what's, you know, a huge part of Erica's world. But I really wish this was such that I was into the characters itself. So, so yeah, I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. It's just not grabbing me in that way. Next up on the list, we have a Usagi Jimbo, number 24. This one by IDW. Of course, this is all done by Stan Sakai. Thank you, Damien Sleepy Reader, for continuing to review Usagi Jimbo, because you sold me on it, and I have since gone back and picked up a lot of the issues that are in color, and I'm following the series, and I'm really digging this. This is really fun stuff. This particular storyline revolves around a Yakuza boss who basically has kidnapped this girl Kyoki, and Usagi and his samurai sidekick are basically looking to free her, and the reason why this Yakuza boss has taken her is because there's another female character, I can't think of her name, stole a ledger from him, and so now they're out, you know, by the samurai code, trying to do the right thing, trying to find her and release her. And come to find out, inside of the book, they don't need to help her. She is fine on her own as she escapes by herself. And but I love the interplay. I love the dialogue inside of here. The story reminds me of a good Zatoichi movie. There's no Zatoichi type character in here, but the story feels very much the same. And so it puts me on completely familiar ground. And I love it, absolutely love it. And so, I mean, there's some comedy inside of here, but I love the levity that he gives the actual main character, Usagi Yojimbo. And, I mean, the expressions on his face are so good. I love them. But I'm really enjoying this series. I'm going to continue to keep this one on my pull list. And again, I probably would have never, when this was in black and white, I never picked it up. I mean, the artwork wasn't something that really grabbed me. You know, I was more into the flashy superhero, you know, type artwork. But I got to tell you, this book has grown on me, and I love it. I love it. Every time it comes out, I'm really digging it. So, again, Sleepy Reader, thank you. And if you guys aren't on this book, you definitely should be, because it's really good. So anyway, number 24, Usagi Jimbo, great read. Okay, next one is Gunslinger Spawn, number 2 by Image Comics. Thank you, Todd McFarlane, for keeping your price point at $2.99. You guys, this is fantastic. You know, I didn't know if I was going to be getting into and collecting the Spawn universe. It's just like, here's another whole collection of books that I now need to worry about. And, you know, I don't have to. But he's putting out some very quality stuff, and I'm digging it. This Gunslinger Spawn is awesome. The last story revolved around him, you know, being brought into a future timeline, and then the Redeemer shows up. And I love the Redeemers. That's one of my favorite characters in the Spawn universe. And so we get some great action again inside of this book, going up against the Redeemers. And he actually pulls the wings off of one, which is, I mean, this is such good stuff, man. But bottom line is, I'm loving these books. You know, look, when it comes to the writing, I'm not going to say that Todd McFarlane is a prolific writer. He's not. But he's doing some fantastic stuff, and he's keeping me definitely glued to what's going on inside of these stories. And again, the artwork is all eye candy, which I absolutely love. And he's bringing in elements that really grab me as far as these particular characters. Just look at this, guys. It's great stuff. So I'm definitely going to continue to get Gunslinger Spawn. I don't know if I'll collect all of them, but I'm getting them all so far, so we'll see what happens as we go forward. Here's like a little poster page in the back. But this is cardstock cover. You know, beautifully done, very, very high quality paper, and for $2.99, y'all. And so you got to, you know, hats off to Todd McFarlane for doing that for us. Pretty awesome stuff. All right, last but not least, we have Decorum, and this is issue number 8 from Image Comics. And you know, I've been hit or miss with Decorum from the very beginning. And this is kind of the last issue of the series. We're going to be getting more going forward. I will say that there's some of the artwork in these books have been next level stuff. You know, absolutely. Other parts of it, not so much next level. It feels sometimes it feels very rushed and like cutting corners so that you can get to the more detailed stuff. That's just my gut feeling. I may be wrong. The story is okay. We got the culmination of the main character. Gosh, I can't think of her name. I want to say Maya, but I know it's not Maya. You know, the whole sisterhood is going after her. So it's kind of like, you know, when John Wick has every assassin coming after him. It's kind of like the same type of thing going on here. And then there's that robot type entity that she's with, and we get the assassins that come in, and then bottom line, you know, he gets killed, but then he doesn't get killed, and then it starts to get really weird and cerebral, and I just didn't buy the way that it ended, how she became you know, the main character, who's very flawed, is chosen to be kind of like a god going forward. I don't know, it felt very, I remember the old movie Zardos. It had some, it felt very Zardos-like in that regard. But there's some great artwork inside of here. You know, I definitely love Huddleston's artwork. The writing by Hickman, still, I mean, there's some stuff inside of here, and in the first parts of the book that he opens up, doesn't explain, and I guess we'll get back to it later. And so that's one of those reasons why I say that it's hit or miss for me, because there are so many parts inside of this that he didn't flesh out, and I'm still confused by it. But man, Huddleston's artwork is amazing. So anyway, I know this was Robbie's pick of the week, and I know he loves this book. I wish I loved it as much as he does, but it was just for me. You know, I kind of like the way some of the things were tied up, and I don't like some of the way some of the things weren't tied up. So there you have it. And so there you go, guys. It's, you know, some of the books were better than others for me. It took me a while to get to these, so thank you guys for bearing with me for dropping a review video for books that were released a week and a half ago. But you know, I'm just having fun, guys. I just wanted to drop a video, and just wanted to let you guys know I appreciate you. And I'll be dropping a pretty significant haul video in the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. But otherwise, if you like the stuff I'm putting out, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and come on back for more. I'd love to see you. Leave a comment down in the comment section, and we'll see you here soon, guys. So remember to support your local comic shop, and we'll see you later. Bye.